As you know us, we are the Councilors Association under the leadership of the able Lord Mayor Yankuba Koli. We have called you people here for just a sort of a briefing, and the briefing is concerned about the local government election that is coming in 2 months, in 2 weeks' time. So before we do anything, let me just introduce the members of the association. So let me just start and introduce to you the members of the Councilors Association here. Behind me, I have Alhaji Adam Abahum, who was a former councillor for Bakau Newtown, then Bakau Newtown Ward. Then we have Keba Sise for Josuan, Ibo Town Ward. Then we have Pa Usman Fati, a councillor for Latrikunda Ward, Latrikunda Sabiji Ward. Then we have, as you know, Banna Badjie, a female among us, who was a councillor of Talinding here. I think she was the first female councillor of Talinding Ward here. Then we have also in our midst the former CEO, Alhaji Abulai Sanyang, who is also among us here by the name of Alhaji Memba Gassama. We have among us also a councillor for Latrikunda Iringanya Ward, Alhaji Jere Sanyang. Jere Sane, I'm sorry for that, Alhaji Jere Sane. Then still we have the deputy mayor, who was also a former councillor for Kuloli Ward, and my humble self, a nominated councillor representing the business community of the KM, who has been working under the leadership of Alhaji Yankuba Kekendo Koli. And we have the able mayor, Kekendo Alhaji Yankuba Koli, a former mayor of the municipality here. So here now, what I'm to do, my tax here is very easy. I am just to do the introduction and then hand over to you.
So right now, the council is distant from the population of the municipality. If you look at what is happening, the mayor's interest is only on people that are close to him and made the council move more of a business center than serving the people of the municipality. So we have so many people who are talking about him being a lot of things, but maybe they don't know the history of the municipality, that's why. We talked about, I heard of him talking about professionalism. He came the council to. We found that at the municipal council, because the staff that are there, most of them were trained by us to university level. The engineers that are at the municipal council right now are trained officers. We train them. We digitalize the council before his coming. Or then I could recall, in my office, I can monitor anything that is running the cash flow of the municipality. The directors that are there, the finance director, is our employee. Most of the people that are there, we employ them. And those are the ones that are salary. So the professionalism that he is talking about, I can see it. Before it professionalized there, because we are the lead council in this country. Any council all the councils that are operating in Gambia, we are their benchmark. They take from us. We do and they follow. And that should continue. And we believe Bakary can do it. For Bakary, it's very close, very, very close to the people of the municipality. Down to earth, not big at all. You know, And that's what we need. Like I used to say, that councils are for the people, for the poor people. Officers that are to lead the council should be people that feels the people, the grassroots. If you bring somebody who has never tied his own shoe, who don't play on our deputy, motivated, rising motivated. So, chairman IT committee, Abidjan, you know that Kapuko left council professionalized. Something I would be a multi to be an account. But council, I think what Tarajir. And take a senior officer to left of open in my minister, in my council within the system. I can do anything. We should have now. It's a form of being monitor knowledge. So we didn't do that. I don't believe me. From say people like Bakary. So from say what I mean the municipality called Guru Ngajindi. Killing women to honey in Balito. Partial cost recovery. When you enter Balito dollar. All money in Balito because it's double taxation. Because Ndula Korda Ningaju Balito Dabjele. Liela Bidiko Joe Balito Dabjele. So say ni wunda ko reje e kana ko ko kelam balito le nyika ka samba e nyanta jola o mu double taxation in for municipal council municipality mol fam nyanta wulale nu they go all out ka foko faaw le lo nyenti wala nyanta kala wala manya na balito jola amanya na jola tola Kamu mutol minara mutu kutol lo mutu kuntul nga mutu kutu jamale san. Unting uma nyanat nala yimul toro like more and more and more. Yita marseto. Everything yake santo. Mina na musul funantira kuja kela santo. Minna ranga tiketo yo $10 of course kuja. Nimba ofula instead of $5, bakala $10 Confidence na financial strategy. You want to money that makes it expensive. Neither a Bidicol Middle Marcelo. Neither places like Laracuna Marcelo Jan. It was up to $40,000 for a shop. It will be built and ask people to apply. And the first qualification is Gambian. Then you must say something. First qualification. You have ID card in the point of Gambian. Then it's not continuous. Nimo also to describe and we discuss about we don't discuss. As a surprise, can no mundo na retire for but in Senegal le sharing difficult. Do Gambian or from coming and dealing the only from community. Do Kalwas, there are times near Waf, Kabusi wood. So, really begin. To cut matters short, Lafta Fulale control this association. Ulta Lepurka Bakary Badjie Sembentuya. Ka support and the support ka dia Karobela. One of the purpose of this press conference. You move for anything so anything
should be buttressed. Particularly regarding our candidate for the mayoral elections 2021 honorable Bakary Badjie ma nuyu ñëpp sant ñëpp si gàttal di gërëm suñ boss Lord Mayor Yankuba Colley si rôle bi nga xam ne moom lañ ko joxoon pour ñu play ko mu defee ko si anam bu rafet defee ko tam ni ñu ko yaakaaree woon tam press conference bi nag kon dalil bi Lord Mayor Yankuba Colley wane na dalil bi Bakary Badjie honorable minister ñu yëpp xam nañ ko ñu ko xamee mooy liggéey man xam naa ko surtout ba mu nekkee xale ba léegi mais dañ ma wax ne suma loxo la passé comme entrance pour dem high school daw ma jàngale tane ñu fii Bakary yàlla baaxee na ko mu nekk xale bu teey xale bu ànd ak sago bu am sago ak xale bu yàlla may xel bu am xel bu mut Bakary wane na ko si liggéeykaay buntu liggéeykaay yu bare liggéeykaay yi nga xam ne mooy liggéeykaay yi ndaw ñi parce que ñun ñëpp xam nañ ne Bakary liggéey na si Red Cross as a volunteer yàgg na fa te bàyyi na fa maak ñëpp xam nañ ne Bakary liggéey na CPA Child Protection Alliance yàgg na fa te mooy woon coordinateur bi tam liggéey bu gën a rafet gis nañ ne liggéey na fa liggéey yu rafet Bakary nekkoon na National Youth Council mooy mbootaay bi nga xam ne moo ombat na ñëpp si réew mi nekkoon na KMC Youth Committee muy boole KYC boobu tam yaakaar a taxoon te yaakaar bi nga xam ne moo taxoon ñu def jox ko place boobu tam fësalal na ko nekk na councilor Alaaji Yankuba Colley mii di Lord Mayor moo ko nominé mu nekk councilor ba mu dugasee ñu gis teeyam ak xarañam ñu ànd ak Lord Mayor nangu nekkoon nañ ko dénka di chairmanship of the finance committee mu nekkoon di chairman of the finance committee te ci diggante boobu la moom sax daf ko dee wax moom Bakary si boppam honorable ministre daf ko dee wax ne time boobu si la Lord Mayor ak tiimam bi liggéey bu mucc ayib si municipalité bii because si time boobu lay sampa marché yëpp si marché yi nga xam ne si mooy including Serekunda market marché yi fi nekk yëpp taaru rafet boobu mun naa dem benn nag di leen tuddal waaye ma gàttal rek waxee ko noonu loolu saaga moom Bakary sax daf ko dee puugaroo waaw puugaroo ko jaarale ko si Lord Mayor bi nga xam ne moo woon suñu kilifa si council bi kon Bakary nekk na koo xam ne réew mi xam nañ ko nit ñi xam nañ ko te tay yu nekk nii ba xibaaram eggee si Adama Barrow di president of the Republic of the Gambia His Excellency Usaga mu dem through his naka la ko waxee files mu dem ba gis ne Bakary day ndaw la boo xam ne ndaw bu nit ñi am yaakaar la mu jël ko jegeñal ko si boppam pour mu liggéey ak moom man maa ngi fàttali ko amoon na benn jotaay bi amoon na Adama Barrow ma jëloon kàddu foofu le di ko jéem a dénka Bakary Badjie di ko woon Bakary Badjie ndaw ban façon ndaw la ak lan la ko yàlla may ak lan la ko yàlla dénka ba mu jëlee kàddu di tontu li ñu wax mooy ne Bakary day ndaw la waaye ndaw bu am future la in politics ndaw bu am future in politics maa ngi ko underline soo si kaw loolu kon yaakaar a tax te xam naa ne Bakary am na programme boo xam ne programme yu mag yoo xam ne amal na ko municipalité bi am na loolu mais wax ne dama ko bëgg a jaar tuuti rek mooy ne xam nga soo jël nit di ko jox liggéey da nekk koo xam ne xam na liggéey bi te koo xam ne dafa dunda si coono gi ak jafe-jafe bi ak tolof bi nga xam ne moom la waa Tundaam di dunda kooku moo jar a dénka place pour mu liggéeyal la parce que kooku tubaab daf ne who feels it knows it waaw kooku daf si dunda Bakary local boy la yëbo town fii saaga fo ne dem na xale sa xale bi fi xale xeexal tuuti léegi suma tojante bakkan ak tojante gémmiñ saaga bi nga xam ne mooy yëbo town ñu xam ne si municipalité la bokkatam jafe-jafe yi ak classe yi nekkul yëbo town sax jafe-jafe yi nga xam ne sax ñoom lañ dee am si wàllu nawet bi si wàllu mën na mi nga xam ne moom lañ dee am Bakary dafa wax ay këram di xuus ndox mu tilim boobu leen xuus dem génn si mën a ñëw si kaw tali bi pour liggéey soo lu ma bëgg a wax rek si gàttal rek mooy nekk booy dénk nit place bi demee ni KMC nga xam ne moo jege askan wi pour liggéeyal askan bi xam soxla askan wi am yërmande askan bi fu mu jaar mu nekk ni koo xam ne nit ku mel ni Bakary Badjie moom nga war a jël te Bakary nekk na koo xam ne ñu mu ngi wane programme am ne central garage mooy central garage boo xam ne suma ñu Rusanga mooy nekk garage bi nga xam ne mooy gën a mag bu soobee yàlla moom su nekkee ne yàlla may na ko place bii dina ko créer si municipalité bi waaw marché yi nga xam ne moom lañ def ak suñ boos loolu meyo mooy marché yi nga xam ne moom lañoo gis nii si jamono nii dina leen yokka yoon yi dina leen yokka scholarship bi Rusanga dina gën a ubbeeku ñëpp xamoon nañ ko scholarship bi naka la fa meloon ak léegi naka la mel Rusanga te Bakary dafa am benn advantage boo xam ne di principal mooy bi His Excellency di président Adama Barrow mi nga xam ne tey moom la yàlla dénk réew mi mooy président of the Republic of the Gambia yaakaar na ko te président Barrow mu ne dafa am plan boo xam ne programme boo xam ne for the municipality moom la bëgg a defal municipality bi mooy li nga xam ne moom la defal Banjul mu ne li mu def Banjul lu raw la bëgg a defal municipality bi mooy suñu tunda bi Rusanga te su amee Bakary Badjie liggéey boobu na gën a mun a pes na mun a antu te na mun a gën a gaaw so kon loolu jàmm ju rëy la te loolu war naa tax loolu rek war naa tax ni ñun ñëpp ñu boot si gannaaw Bakary Badjie ni Councilors KMC Councilors Association bi bootoo si gannaaw Bakary Badjie pour gis ne support nañ ko liggéey nañu moom jàppale nañ ko jàppale suñu boppa ba yàlla may ñu ndam su soobee yàlla 2021 on the 28th of May 2023 lu dégg lu Bakary Badjie jërëjëf wasalaam.
You can just come in and knock the mayor without appointment and see him. It's different. If you have anything to do in the council, then you can just come in and meet any officer that you want to see at the municipality or at the office. That's the trend. We found and we continue to do and got stopped. So the people don't feel camps. It's like people don't go there. And it's for everybody. Any other questions?
Yes, any other questions from any of the journalists?
At his present office, it will doubt me. Because for him, what I know more of him is he loves the people of this municipality. This is why he's leaving a ministerial position where there will be no hustle or anything to come to the level of a mayor. And he's a good listener, and he has placed himself equal to anybody, like any one of you people. He is not somebody who is pompous, who carry himself up. He is somebody who is down to earth, who can relate with anybody, who can listen to anyone's problem. So for him, I will never expect a thing like that. That's the reason why we are endorsing him, because we know him, that he knows the municipality and he lost the municipality.
My second question, what will happen?
That will not happen. That will not happen. Because I'm talking to you about someone that I know very well. And I know it will never happen. You know, somebody who is, that level can never change. Can never change. He's not a big man. Because I know somebody from Farokono Duma that just walk into his office and he'll appeal to you. I know he can eat with somebody, a madman. I know that. I know he can share the same basin with a madman. I know about that. It's not something that I'm saying by just saying. It happens in my present. He's that type of a man. That's the reason why we are endorsing him.
That can tell you that he's connected with the youth. If he's not connected with them, he will not achieve what he has achieved. So, Deputy Mayor.
Yes. What I want to just add is to, for the gentleman who is asking the question, journalist, he wants us to give him a guarantee in the event that, he fails to deliver. I think that was the question.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That question, your first question, where you say the minister is inaccessible.
This is what
Let me compliment that, the sporting fraternity, those is for some time would invite him for meetings and then, he default, he would decline. I think I had that as part of your questions. This is why the Lord is saying that it will be a big surprise for us. Because we know the type of minister we have, we know the type of candidate that we are endorsing today. You see, so I don't know how that happened, and I'm sure it's going to be a surprise to him. And remember that by virtue of his portfolio, as a minister, we all know that the scope of responsibility that he has. He cannot be available, everywhere and at every time. And then sometimes also we have to understand that we all cannot be, calling the minister and then having him, respond at the same time. Those may be instances maybe, that you might be referring to. But actually, he's a minister, he's a candidate that we are endorsing because we know that he is going to deliver. The guarantee that we are looking for us to give you is that, we know that he's going to deliver. We are 100% sure that he's going to deliver because he's going to work with a team. And the minister is a very good listener, He will work with a team at the council. And that team would be a very honest team, a team that will be loyal, and then the team that would also have the interest of this municipality, equally as the mayor, for them to implement and then achieve the desires of the people of this municipality. Thank you.
All right. Already identify a place that we think would fit a garage for this municipality, a central garage for this municipality. We've even asked our district our engineers to go and survey the place. We will not talk about the place right now. I'll not tell you where. No, I'll not tell you where, but I'll tell you that there is already a plan for a garage. This is why I'm saying we are endorsing it because we want things to work in the municipality. We don't want people to use our 60% just like that.
Is it the Abuko market?
It could be Abuko market. We've already given market garage at that place.
Is it the Abuko place? Where the people?
It could be.
Is it Boyo field?
No, it's already a football field. No, we will not change that. That's it.
Here?
It's possible. It's a recreation center. It's possible.
Mr. Even Joshua, I am Mr. Sergeant Thomas. I can come in, Mr.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Journalist.
Yes, sir.
Even Joshua behind freezing. You go there. We already built a garage there. Everyone are not using it. Go and see. It's standard. Everything is available.
Then it has not been disclosed now?
No, behind freezing. Behind freezing. The market is there and a garage. Well-built garage and all facilities are there. But drivers are not using it. We can expand that and then develop it. You go to Bundu, you are talking, you said land is an issue here. No, go to Bundu market. It's not developed. Jolakunda market, Bohol market is not developed. You go to Caniping estate, there you have a market there in front of the mosque. It's not developed. You can just go and clear all those LCs and then develop it. So there are many places where you can develop in this municipality without buying land. We have already lands available for markets.
So now we have only the place of this garage can be, isn't it?
Huh?
We have only known the place.
No, you don't know the place.
No, we will not tell you where.
I refuse to tell you, but I'll tell you that the Honorable Minister After his election, he'll mention it in his first statement that he's going to give to the people.
And in fact, the Honorable Minister, I triggered this market thing simply because I know that he has the plan, and he has it in his manifesto also. It's something that he has already conceived, and he has also already, worked on the nitty-gritties, for this market. So if you're asking me, where can we get the land for the market? Like the previous speaker said, there are open spaces in this municipality. There are also, bigger spaces that, belongs to people, citizens of this municipality. So these are all possibilities for us to be able to, access and get an area for that market. Yes. Thank you.
Honorable Leader Commission, sir.
Yes.
Press briefing in this absence. That's our candidate, and we purposely call you people here to endorse his candidature as the candidate for the mayor and for the KM. So for that simple reason, at least he is now here. That's Honorable Minister Bakary Badjie. He is now meeting our needs. So thank you very much, Bakary. You are totally engaged, but at least you have money to join us. So you are highly welcome. Thank you very much.
Very well for the women of our municipality. And we've created avenues for them. That was why we built up relations with sister councils, both in the southern part of Senegal and the northern part of Senegal. And there were trainings that were going on with our women and the women of Senegal. There are so many things that for us during our time, and I know Bakary will follow suit. What we were doing with the women. In fact, in our budget, I heard them saying it now. We provide 1 million for women, 1 million for youth. That's a budget for the council. Every council budgeting, there will be 1 million for the women, 1 million for the youth. So we will never leave our mothers behind. In fact, they are everything. Every man's success lies on a woman. So for us, women are high in our agenda. Xam nga ñun xam nga boo yaree nit defe naa di nga xam jikko ndax du dëgg ñun mi nekk fii nag ñun ñoo ko yar ñun mi ngeen gis nii ñun ñoo ko yar so xam nañ ban façon nit la xam nañ ne dina deliver ku gëm liggéey la bi ko place yim téye yëpp dafa def ndam to ñun daf ñu uur ne leer nañu tamit comme soo ma suba ndema teewoo ngi nii rek boobu façon nit la nit ku yaru la ku déggu la liggéeykat loolu tax ñu nit ñu ñëw all out mais dañ koo endorse pare nag pour bokkaa mu boré bi ba mu jeex tàkk loolu moo fa nekk loolu moo tax. He did not fail the use of this municipality, or not only this municipality, the country. That stadium has long time before he becomes even minister.
It was built in 1980 something, 83.
Even before he becomes a minister. The problem of the stadium is not during his time. It is during his time that they are remaking that place again. The stadium is changed to standards now. If you like, you can just make a visit and see the works that are going on there. For our players to play outside, it's not his making. He found that by his predecessors. So it's not him. He came just now. When did he become Minister of Youth? 2 years ago?
And I also think that achievement he has, playing outside and achieve is better than playing home and you don't achieve anything. So since he became a minister, how many times do our national team made us proud? How many times? Yeah?
Can we have statement from the mayor, then we continue the...
I want to add on this moment and warn them about the stadium in 2014. Records are there. In 2017, the stadium was banned and government spent money to refurbish the stadium. The ban was lifted. In 2019, the stadium was banned again and there was refurbishment being made. And it is now banned again. And all these periods, he was not minister. Remember, he became minister just less than 2 years, about 2 years ago. And as we speak, the government of the Gambia is investing over 100 million to rehabilitate the stadium to standard, to FIFA standard. So definitely the cause of Gambia not playing in the Gambia is not caused by Minister Badjie, our aspiring candidate, but it is government's negligence at the time that it was not done on time until now. So, and we have known that during his time, he has done enough efforts to move the Gambian sports to the highest level. We have participated in CAF. Right now, our under 20 have qualified to the World Cup. All because efforts that he have done by chartering, giving them all the necessary facilities they require, by providing chartering a flight for them to fly and meet their standard, playing times. And this have developed the sports of this country to the highest level. And definitely he deserves a tap on the back because he has done tremendously well to improve the standards of sports in the country. Gina Basco recently collected 2 medals through the support he got from the minister. She is flying everywhere she wants to fly without any delays. We all knew when she started, she has so many problems. But today, Gina Bas has no problem. She can meet 2-3 competitions at the same period without problems of flight here and there. Us is because the minister have taken stance to make sure he have addressed those problems, those challenges. Beach volleyball, you name them. These are all sports that have been developed to the highest level through the efforts of the minister. And remember, how much money have been allocated to sport? We all know the national budget of this country. We've been following it. Because when you live in a country, you have to get interest in what is happening in the country. And the minister, out of the budget that is allocated to the ministry, have made extra efforts to mobilize resources to make sure the sports of this country have moved forward. Of recent, Moyo Field is being built to a mini stadium with all facilities, which is the responsibility of the municipality. Because if you go by the local government act, it is council's responsibility to be ministerials for each jurisdiction. But he has gone beyond that level because he has passion in sports and he wants to develop talents because sports is a trade. And he wants young people to have an employment because that's another way of creating employment for young people. By giving them the platform where they can showcase their talents and then excel to become professionals. So these are all contributions that he has done in sports. So he hasn't failed the Gambian youth, he hasn't failed the Gambian sports fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to the former Lord Mayor of the Badjie municipality, Mayor Yankurokoli, the former Deputy Mayor of the municipality who was also a councillor of Kololi, Mr. Jaite, and all the former councillors that are seated here, former councillors of different times, of course. I recognize all of them, and to the media, the people that are from the press, good afternoon. Well, I just want to express sincere thanks and appreciation to the former mayor and the former councillors for his huge endorsement of my candidacy for the mayor of the Country municipality for the May 20th local government elections. Now, this to me is very humbling in the sense that all of these people here are my elder brothers, my uncles, people that I have worked with at a time that I want to believe I was the youngest in the council. I was the youngest in the council in 2008 when I was nominated by the mayor, and then I served alongside all of these great people. for a term. And of course, some of them came back in their second term, that time that I was not there, but we did follow all the projects and all the development that they brought to the municipality and all the good work that they have done. So for them to gather here today to give an endorsement to my candidacy is something that I am very proud of, in the sense that it could have been anyone else. It could have been another candidate. Some of them come from parties who could have been candidate that maybe a party wants to put up, but here they are endorsing me and ready to support my candidacy. And I believe that these are people that have a lot of support base, because reality is anyone who has ever served any public office where you were elected means that you are loved by your people, and you command respect, and you command a support base that is good enough to add to what we have. So I just want to say thank you very much to Lord Mayor, and I definitely appreciate the step that you and the former councillors and the former CEO, of course, who is also here, has taken to support my candidacy. And we believe that it will transcend the endorsement. It also goes down to getting to talk to the people on the ground, getting to mobilize more and more support. And while I've missed most of what they have said, I want to believe that the endorsement is purely like they said recently on what they know about me and what we are able to do at the time that we were in the council. And I know sometimes the rhetorics have changed, and our people, unfortunately, have short memories. They only remember what happened in the last months and maybe the last few years, but probably do not even remember the things that happened in the past. But I can speak confidently that the Lord Mayor Yankuba Koli and his council did a lot of work in the Kanifi municipality in the 2 terms that he served as mayor. And the records are there for those that want to see it. We talk of markets, you can count them, multiple, probably about 6 or so markets during his 2 terms as a councillor. And I've always talked about these issues in my meetings. Somebody mentioned the Abuko market here. That is a market that was developed by Lord Mayor at the time that I was serving as a chairperson of the Finance and Audit Committee. The same time that the Talinding Sikap market was constructed, and the same with the old Joshua market that the CEO said has a garage. And it was the same time that Charles Jau High School was built. And the Serekunda market was burned down at one time. It was during this period that the Serekunda market was rebuilt to the state of that it is. And that is just on markets. You can count roads that were constructed. You can talk of support that we're giving to women and giving to young people. You can count multiple scholarships that we're giving to ward councillors to give to the needy children in their wards. And the list can go on. In his second term, we know about the Latukunda market, the one where they pay the counterpart contribution. And we also know about the Manjai market, the one that they bought the land and constructed the market to the state of that the Manjai market is today. And we know about the main office of the country municipality. All of these things happened in his second term. And the tractors that were purchased for the collection of refuse for free for the people of the municipality. So when we talk about records, you can count a lot of records that were registered under Lord Mayor Yankuba Koli and the council. And the people of the municipality know this. They know that when you're taking off comparisons, they don't even exist. But moving forward, we're looking forward to getting more and more engaged with the people so that they get to understand what the stakes are, and they get to understand that all of these developments were done at a time that council was collecting minimal revenue. But we've seen an increase by 100% of revenue, and yet still we are not seeing those kind of markets and those kind of structures and those kind of schools being constructed under the period that the current Lord Mayor Charlie Bensouda is serving. So, for me, I'm just elated that I'm getting the support of all these great people, men and women, and of course, not only them, but any other person that has served on Lord Mayor Yankuba, and they will be joining us in the campaign as we move forward to the local government election. So, thanks to everyone, and thank you to the media also. I guess this is where I will stop, and I appreciate that you guys were able to make time to come and cover this press conference. Thank you. That were given by the mayor and Mr. Badjie. Well, it's actually what it is. It's unfortunate that people, and when I say people, I mean our generation, unfortunately do not take time to make research and be independently informed. We want to just follow what people say in the media and just take that to be what is the facts. I would believe that we should be able to develop the mind to be able to verify things on our own and be able to be independent minded, not to follow the whims and the issues that are discussed. I have explained this before, and I probably will explain it again. The problem of the stadium is a long-term issue. Leadership is about responsibility. It's about accepting what happens during your time and taking responsibility and taking action to solve the problems that confront the generation or the people that you serve. And that is the situation that I find myself in, that coming into a ministry that is under-resourced, a ministry whose facilities are not well developed, and we're doing our best to develop. But it appeared people just want a quick fix to problems. And I am not going to follow the opinion of people out there to do things in a quick way. No, we are not doing that. Because in the end, we have a responsibility to ensure that what we're doing is sustainable and it's good and it's durable. Stadium issue, like so many people said, this stadium was opened in 1984 after 2 years of construction at the donation of China, the People's Republic of China. From 1984 to now, what was the efforts to have a second stadium? It was zero. What was the efforts to even maintain that independent stadium itself? It was non-existent. But moving forward, CAF does not get up and ban stadium overnight. Everybody knows here that even in your own home, you don't just get up and make a rule overnight and say it must happen today. No, it doesn't work like that. You make a rule and allow time for people to adjust to the rule. So when CAF was talking about stadiums being not up to date and the need to improve them, that was enough. That was in 2014. And they didn't just say stop it. They said they're giving African countries 5 years to upgrade their stadiums or develop new facilities from 2014 to 2017. So Gambia exhausted our 5 years in 2017 and nothing happened. And then that's when they started imposing the law and banned countries, including Gambia in 2019, and government put in some little money and improved on certain things that they want, just to allow you to play one qualifiers, and then the ban comes back again in 2020. Before I was appointed, the stadium was banned. And government put in some little money again to improve it, just to ensure that we play our 3 matches here in the last AFCON qualifiers. And then now we have to do it again. Do we want to be spending 10 million year in, year out? Our idea is, let's do a comprehensive study of the stadium and do a one-time fix to the problem. And we did that. We're not experts. We depended on another Ministry of Works to do the assessment using the CAF checklist of what needs to be at the stadium. And that study was completed last year, around April. Because the ban eventually was in the second ban. After when they lifted the ban for 2020 we played, or 2021 we played, 2022 they brought it back again. This was communicated to us in March of 2022. And it was the same time that we asked Ministry of Works to do an assessment. They did an assessment and submitted it, I think about 2 months after, around May or so. And that time, the cost, as what they said, was about 100 million to do the renovation of the stadium in 2022. Our budget as a whole ministry for 2022 was not even up to $100 million. We had about $80-something million as a budget for the ministry, as allocation from the Ministry of Finance. And now that is for your ministry to operate, all the institutions, all the programs you do. But here is Ministry of Works telling you that you need 100 million to fix a stadium. How possible is that? We couldn't. But we need to look for means to do that. And eventually we were lucky to have gotten the resources from government outside our budget to be able to do the stadium. But again, construction work requires a lot of processes. You don't just get up and start work. You must do a BOQ, you must tender the project and allow for a period of 1 month before you can even assess it. After assessment, you have to send it to GPPA for review. And when they review, they send it back to you. Those administrative bureaucracies alone can take you 2-3 months before you can even complete it. And that is what is completed. And the work has started at the stadium. And I've said this work has started at the stadium. But there is nothing in that stadium that is available in the country. The contractors have to order stuff from outside, majority of them from Turkey. And we saw a few days ago, the seats are around. Already at the ports, they have 2 containers that have arrived. And Monday, they have 2 other containers that are arriving from Turkey. And all of those containers are fitted with equipment. There is a total of about 9 containers that are supposed to come that is going to refurbish the stadium. And we don't manufacture anything. All of these things come from outside. But in the end, the most important thing is that stadium renovation is ongoing. Who do we blame for the delay? I mean, for the reason why Gambia is playing outside. It's not me. I was appointed in October of 2020. And in between October of 2020 and now is 2 years. We've done our best to ensure that the stadium is brought up to standard. And I think if everybody is reasonable enough and is fair enough, you must be appreciative of the efforts that we have taken to ensure that our stadium is upgraded to a standard, just like our CAF requires, and not to tell us that, oh, you failed the people. See, I don't even know how we failed. Because the reality is Gambia have been here, we've been struggling for qualification to AFCON, we never qualified. Government was not putting a lot of money in sports, we all know that. But today we're putting in money, we're taking care of our national team, and accommodations, their travels, their allowances, their camping allowances, and their bonuses. And this is what football needs, it needs investment. And we were not getting the investment, that's why we were not going anywhere. Now government is taking care of the national team. We spent more than 100 million for Gambia to qualify to the AFCON the last time. Those things will happen. And that included the qualifying matches, all the 4 test matches that Gambia played during the qualifying rounds. And then when we qualified, we spent money again for the team to prepare for the tournament in Cameroon. And that's why you were hearing those times the team, every FIFA window, the team was either going to Turkey for training camp, or Morocco, or Qatar, or Dubai, or Portugal. The other one was in Portugal. These were at the expenses of government, under the ministry, at the time that I was minister. And that is what helps us to have the kind of players that we have, and went to AFCON, of course, with all the management and the coach and the players. And that's what gave us the results. In AFCON alone, we spent more than 100 million with arrangements of flights and all those things for the players. How did that happen? It's during our time. So how can anybody think that we failed when we are doing more now in sports than the past government? How is that possible? In the same thing, you can talk about football, you can talk about the same thing for volleyball. You can talk about the same thing for athletics and all the other sports. So we need to be a little bit reasonable and accept the fact that we're not saying we're doing enough. We're doing our best based on the resources that are available to ensure that our sports is promoted. And that is the message, that's the answer that I have, and that's a response to the issue about not doing much for sports. I mean, beyond sports, there is so much going on. The NYSS is ongoing with a current recruitment of 305 young people who are all in different training institutions at the expense of the ministry. The same thing can be talked of NEDI, where we're giving loans and grants to young people who are into business. So I think this is what we can give. It's up to the journalists and people that want to go and verify. We are not a PR stunt individuals. We focus on the things and talk about the things that we want to talk about. The rest is up to individuals to go and find out if they want to know what we're doing. But that's what I can say so far. We have a hand. How do we have a hand?
The government have on it, so the cannot go ahead. The institution cannot go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where that is coming from, but let me say this. I don't want to talk about what other people are doing and what they're not doing. Just now, I explained to you people about processes of construction, how the tendering is done, the signing of the contract, and the payment before work can start. So if somebody lays a foundation for a project that is not signed anywhere, it was never tendered, you did not see anywhere where KMC was signing an official contract with a construction company, and they went and laid a foundation. Laid foundation for which job? And which company is doing the job? Today I can say Jigo Construction and Integral of Turkey are the one doing the Independence Stadium. Which company is supposed to do the Serafuna West Stadium? Maybe they need to tell us. So, see, that's why I said playing to the gallery and doing the right things is different. We have no interest and we were never involved in decisions of Serafuna West because Serafuna West is not under us. Somebody just said it. All the mini stadiums or football fields within the municipality are under the council and not under central government. They are not under the ministry. That's why we just saw it, just like you way saw it. A plan on video, a 3D plan, and the laying of the foundation. But that's all we know. But who is doing the job and where the money is coming from, they said official is funding it. Now, if official is funding it, official is a private company. What relationship does official have with government? But my point is, you go to the Serafuna West Committee and ask them questions about which company is supposed to construct that place. If you see a company, then you know they're true. If there is no company, then it's not true. But I've never talked about the Serafuna West. I have no business with it. I'm not part of it. I am not aware of what is happening. I know it's a tripartite arrangement between the committee, the council, and officer. So for them to say government is blocking it, I don't even know how sensible that is because we don't own it. We don't own Serafuna West. The committee there is not under us. The committee there is under KMC. And KMC is a body that can do their job. I mean, official funded the one at traffic lights. And government gave them the land. So and we believe that we're doing that because we want to support sports in the country. So I don't see any reason why anybody will block something. But I'll just advise anyone to go and find out, maybe get the right information. But I want to believe that I don't know which company is supposed to do the same thing. But one thing I know, and that I would say, just to clarify this issue, the company that we brought here for the Independence Stadium was recently approached and asked to do a costing for the development of that place. So there's no company that is supposed to do that. And we have no interest in stopping development. That's not accurate. I can raise my hand and say that I am probably the most accessible minister right now in this country. That's the reality. Because my office is open every day that I am there. Appointment or not appointment, people come in. And if I am not busy and they have the patience to wait, they will see me. I go to all kind of programs. Even Little Nawetans, I go there. And my number is all over the place. People have my numbers and they can call me and reach me at any time. Or if I'm busy, they miss a call maybe. But otherwise, to say that I am not accessible, that's strange. I don't know how that is possible, but I'm everywhere. People know that. Even those that cannot reach me in my office, they will come to my home because they know where I live. And they know that when they come there, they will see me. So, I'm very, very accessible. If that is the only thing that qualifies somebody to be a good leader, then I'm probably 100%.
All right. So thank you. So you can listen to stay with us. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to all of you. Say thank you to all your. Thank you. Thank you.